Hi, my name is Dan Reifsteck, and I'm going to talk to you today about Of Thoughts and Thinking by Antonio C. Lymon. So for me, I break this piece up into three different chunks when I play it, and I try to focus on three different things for each of those sections. So the very first section is our opening lyrical section, and for me, I'm focused on being as expressive as possible, and I find that I can be the most expressive by focusing on the dynamics, how loud and how soft I'm playing, and also the roll speed, how fast and how slow my rolls are. Since most of these opening 20 measures is rolling, I am able to change both of those around, ultimately to try and give every single moment of this opening section a feeling of direction. If it feels like we're always moving somewhere and there's some sort of momentum in the piece, I think that's more exciting as a listener. Where in the first section we're able to really show off our voice and what we hear musically, the second section is a little bit more finely prescribed in that the tempos are very exact. We have eighth note equals 230 right at measure 20. And there are a couple moments where he allows some sort of expressivity, like the ritardandos and the accelerandos, and then moments like measure 27 that are marked freely. But for the most part, this whole second section from measure 20 all the way to measure 59, the tempos are pretty precise, the dynamics are precise, there are a lot of accents, and so our job needs to first be to try and execute exactly what's on the page, and then once we feel like we can do that, then we can start to add in all these extra moments of individual expression. Also, since this is a little bit of a faster section, there are some accuracy concerns that come up. One example would be measure 32, where we have these four grace notes leading into that top F. For me, my secret is to try and keep my eyes slightly ahead of where my hands are. So when I play that E in measure 31 at the end of the measure, I already have my right hand sitting on top of the A and the C, ready to go with those grace notes. And after I play that E, my left hand immediately jumps down to the C and the F. So I already have all four mallets sitting on top of the four grace notes, and all I have to do is move one of these mallets to this top F. For me, the number 2 mallet is sort of the easiest mallet to get up there, and so once I get my mallets in place, I just put my eyes right on that F, and it happens pretty much every single time. So just try to keep your eyes ahead of the game, and your hands will follow most of the time. That gesture repeats itself in measure 34, and then there's a similar moment in measure 39. I would just do the exact same thing, really slow practice with the metronome, and just really focus on where your eyes are looking and make sure your hands are making really efficient movements to match up with where your eyes are. Otherwise, in the second section, there's only one other really tricky thing, which is measure 57. We have to roll on one note while we play this line. For me, there are two different ways that we can accomplish this. The first is a mandolin roll, which is where we take the mallets and put them on the very edge of the bar, and we move up and down like this. Or we can keep the mallets over the top of the bar and roll like that. Both work totally fine, and it's just up to you as to which one feels best for you. I like to go over the top of the bar, but that's just personal preference. And that leaves us with the very last section, which is the recap. In the recap, we're playing pretty much musical material that has come from earlier on in the piece. And so since we're hearing a lot of the same things, as a performer, I never really want to play it the exact same way. I don't want people to feel like I'm getting lazy as an interpreter. So I want to make sure that it's still exciting to hear this material. For me, I'm trying to change this up by keeping the dynamics a lot softer. And that fits into my interpretation because I want this last section to feel really nostalgic and contemplative, like the title suggests. And so by keeping the dynamics just a little bit softer and sweeter, as it says in measure 65, the dolce, by staying soft and sweet, I think it really wraps up this entire piece and makes it feel like everything is completely done. Feel free to watch the performance video, and thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your auditions.